Greetings, Lakeview Naz. Hope you are all well this week. And man, it's been fun to walk through the Better Together series. I hope that has been helpful in a lot of ways, just helping us understand the idea of this process of discipleship, what it looks like, and the emphasis that we have as a church, that we're about being disciples, loving our neighbors, and making disciples. If you feel like we say that all the time, that it's repeated all the time, it's true. And I have no problem, and I will not apologize for repeating the greatest commandment and the Great Commission. So it's super much a part of who we are as followers of Christ, as Nazarenes, pursuing this idea of being disciples of Jesus, being more like Jesus, and the role of doing that together as a faith family, and how in order for that to happen, it requires us continuing to move closer together in relationship, and our commitment. Hopefully, you hear our commitment of doing all we can to make that happen. And again, there's no one size fits all. Everyone is different. And so I want you to hear from this pastor who I have shared many times struggles with institutional hierarchies and structure that is put down on top of me and people telling me what to do. I struggle with that, so I don't want to be that. But I also recognize when we say that we are coming together as the body, part of that means working together to figure out what it means to grow, and asking each other hard questions, and finding ways to be in relationship with each other, and trying different things, and recognizing that some things will work and some things won't, and that I'll try to lead stuff and sometimes it doesn't take off. Like, if I'm honest, I don't know the long-term viability of emotionally healthy discipleship as the way it's structured in the two, emotionally healthy spirituality and emotionally healthy relationships, and that being a core part of what it means of making disciples here at Lakeview. I don't know. So these are things that we try, we practice. That's why we call it a pilot. Like, we're trying to see if this is something that can be helpful. And the same with when we talk about discipleship groups and the structure of groups meeting at least 2 times a month. And then the idea of our communities on mission, of discipleship groups that meet once a month for discipleship and formation, at least once a month, and then also meet once a month together to serve and support a local ministry on an ongoing basis. Like, these are all things that have worked in other settings that seem to be well rooted in a biblical model of being like Jesus. And so we try them and we see what happens. And if you haven't figured this out about me, what I'm always trying to do is empower you as a follower of Jesus to figure out what it means for you and to have a sense of ownership in your own discipleship journey. That's what made this significant difference for me. I mentioned years ago sitting at a staff meeting and recognizing I can't answer the questions, who's discipling you and who are you discipling? And there was no formula, there was no church program that was going to change that for me. What was going to change that was me recognizing I need to be on this discipleship journey. I need to surround myself with people who can pour into me. I need to be willing to give myself away, to be vulnerable in a relationship so that I can be in discipling and accountability style relationships. And so that's what I'm trying to encourage. That's what we as a staff and with the NDI Council are trying to do, is create these opportunities and avenues. And so when those come up, try them out. I would encourage you, for those who want to join us on the Bible reading journey, it'll start on Monday. Monday the 30th is the New Testament kicks off in our year-long Bible reading plan. So if you started and kind of weren't able to keep up, no problem. Jump back in with the New Testament. If you didn't join and didn't know about it or just didn't feel like it was right in the new year, jump on with the New Testament. Join us and find that connection. And as we talk more about the groups, sign up, be a part. If you have questions or aren't sure or are just need some direction, flag me down. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out what it means for you to be a disciple. So excited about that and excited to continue that journey. And I'm really excited for October 6th. I'm going from fear and trepidation of the Revelation series to like super excited. Reverend Carol Rotz and I have been talking about this and been planning and preparing and researching, and it's awesome. So she will start us off on the 6th with an introduction and overview of Revelation, and I'm really excited to hear from her, as she is one who has studied this book extensively and wrote a commentary for the denomination on this book, and that's exciting to me, and I appreciate especially her humble disposition. That though she has written a commentary, she would also say that there's so much that she still doesn't know, and so it's someone who's continuing to understand and recognize what Revelation reveals about Jesus and about the kingdom and about the church. And so she'll be unfolding some of those things for us and helping us with that, but also continuing to have a posture of openness and learning along the way. So be looking forward to that. And be looking forward this Sunday. Reverend Gene Rotz will be in the pulpit, and I'm excited for him to break open the word and share from his wealth of experience. And particularly in this season, as we head into an election year, and anytime people say election or politics around the church, we always squirm a little bit. But I think Gene's posture, and he's not talking specifically about elections or politics, but recognizing what it means to be a civic people, to be engaged. I think this is a great setup for talking about Revelation, because it is very much a theopolitical book in every sense of the word. And so while on Sunday, Gene and even in Revelations, myself and Reverend Carol Rotz won't get into telling you what to do or how, that to me isn't the essence of Scripture or the call, but it's recognizing who we're called to be as Christians and what that means for our engagement as a civic people. And I think one of the things I know Gene will talk about is the diversity of the disciples. So thinking about how we come together and find unity. So building off of this better together idea, and what it means to have the sense of unity even when things aren't uniform. Gene will have some different language for that, but that's essentially the essence. So what does that mean for us to find unity? Because I'm convinced that if we all think alike and everything is exactly the same on everything, that's not what biblical unity is talking about. It's recognizing coming together in the midst of diversity and difference. And how do we do that well and with grace? And how do we recognize that we don't need to be afraid to talk about difficult topics and subjects? So again, make sure that you are aware that this is not one of those on purpose intentional political conversations that's going to hit all the extreme talking points from different angles or be critical. This is really, what does it mean to be faithful to Jesus, faithful to the gospel and the mission of the church, and how do we continue to pursue unity as the body and engage as people who are a part of a local community and a country. So I'm excited for Gene. I'm so grateful for his wisdom and his life experience, lived experience, and the way that he, again, also with humility, opens these things up and allows for a sense of dialogue and shares with us what he believes the Lord's placed on his heart. And a lot of these things that he's talking about, he unearthed in 2017 when we did our big bike trip across the country with Extreme Nazarene Missions that I helped lead and coerced Gene into coming along with us. And it was a powerful, powerful message that we carried across the country. So anyways, I'm excited for Sunday. The staff, again, as most of you know, will be in McCall for our staff retreat. And on Sunday morning, we get the privilege of worshiping with Pastor Grady Harmon and his family in McCall, as he has been installed this summer as the pastor there. And for those of you who do not know, Grady is the son of Lakeview's previous pastor, Dr. Mark Harmon, who pastored at Lakeview for 20 years. Retiring in 2020, excuse me. So we're excited to worship with him and carry our greetings up there to McCall as we finish off our staff retreat and spend time together praying about where God is leading us as individuals and as a staff in the church. So appreciate your prayers, covet your prayers for us, and I look forward to being back together on the 6th as we break into Revelation. All right, friends, blessings.